Hello to all the Form 4 students. Today I would like to discuss the exercise for 1.7, self-practice 1.7. Okay, this is more on application for the function. So let's go through the question one by one and we discuss. And please do all the exercise that I'm going to discuss in your exercise book. All right, if you got any problem, you can text me in the Telegram for the class group. All right, so self practice 1.7 is start with question number 1. So for this question is about the function. Given the function f is defined as fx equal to x over x plus 1, and there is a condition applied because the denominator comes with a x. So x cannot be equal to -1. And for the a, find the iterated function f2, f3, and f4. Okay, so for iterated function, what's the meaning of iterated function? Iterated function means a function will keep on repeat. Example, f2, f3, f4, f5 are iterated function. So we will find f2, we will find f3, and we will find f4, and then we have to find f20 and f23. Right, this is very challenging, right? So okay, it's okay, let's discuss how to find f2, f3, and f4. Okay, let's start with the f first. The function f, okay, we have the function f. I'm going to find f2, but I will have to start with the f. X equal to, okay, whenever I see x, I will leave it blank like this. Okay, so if fx, you will substitute with the object x, right? So if it is f2, okay, if it is f2, if x here, every bracket you put x, right? So if f with the object that I'm going to fill up is actually not x, I'm going to fill up with the fx. Okay, so I'm going to write fx here. So it means that I will change the object to fx here. Okay, object will change accordingly. The object is a function. So actually I'm finding f2. This is f2. Okay, you can write as f2 or f2x. Same. Alright, so now we're going to do f2. So okay, basically your fx is given there already, so is x over x plus 1. So what you need to do now is you will actually substitute the fx with the x over x plus 1. Okay, let's do it now. Okay, so now we will substitute here, we will substitute the fx, right? Here we substitute the actual function for fx, x over x plus 1. Alright, this is f2. Okay, let's simplify carefully. Okay, in order to simplify this one, we need to pay attention to the denominator. So it's actually like this. X over, write nicely, x plus 1 over, we make it longer, x over x plus 1 plus x plus 1 x plus 1. Make the denominator the same. Okay, then we will simplify. It will be x over x plus 1 over let's simplify like this, join. Okay, so if possible, the line here, as you know, this line, you make it, you must know that this is over, fraction over fraction. So now let's continue. So x over x plus 1 over, it's going to over another fraction, so it's a bit confused. So this is 2x plus 1 over x plus 1. Now many students will say they are having a big problem with the fraction over fraction. So don't worry, you just write x over x plus 1 divided by 2x plus 1 over x plus 1, right? So when you divide, you have to inverse, isn't it? So you write x plus 1 multiplied by x plus 1 over 2x plus 1. Okay, you notice that you have the common factor that you can cancel out, which is these two, right? So finally your answer is x over 2x plus 1 for the f2x. Alright, so the denominator comes with x, so x cannot be equal to negative half. This is a condition that you must write. Okay, finally we have find f2x. Now we're going to find f3x, we are going to find f4x, right? So let's find the space. So we have find the f2x already. Now we want to find the f3x. So how to find f3x? Let's try. Okay, f3x, it means what? F3x, it means that we are going to use f2x, right? Okay, we have the f2x just now. We have the fx, which is, okay, we better write down our fx. What's our fx? Is x over x plus 1, right? So inside the f2, I will substitute with the object. That object is fx, right? So I'm going to substitute fx inside. Okay? So by referring to the x there, I will substitute. Okay? When I see x, I will substitute with the fx. 2, I will substitute with the fx. Okay? Understand? So whenever you want to do the function, you always observe f2. So you copy down the f2. Then you substitute the x replaced by the object, which is fx. And as I say, our fx is there here. This is our fx, right? So we substitute x plus 1, and then x over x plus 1, right? So it's equal to x over x plus 1 over 2x, okay, let's write properly, 2x over x plus 1 plus x plus 1 over x plus 1. Alright, so we make the denominator the same by multiply by x plus 1. Okay, so finally we will have this is f3x, right? Okay, let's simplify. Our f3x is equal to x over x plus 1 over, we have 2x plus x plus 1, which is 3x plus 1 over x plus 1. Okay, so now we are going to write x over x plus 1 is going to divide by 3x plus 1 over x plus 1. Now we are going to reverse. X over x plus 1 times x plus 1 over 3x plus 1. So we can simplify by cutting like that. So finally, our answer for f3x is x over 3x plus 1. Alright? Okay, so I'm going to write down my f3x equal to x over 3x plus 1. This is the answer, and the condition is x cannot be equal to 1 over 3, right? So we have found the f3x. Now I'm going to find f4x. Okay, based on f3x, I will find the f4, right? So let's do it now. f4 is actually, I'm going to use my f3. I will substitute with the object, which is actually fx, right? So let's substitute with the object fx here, and then if I say just now our fx is, where is my our fx is x over x plus 1, so we'll substitute the fx into f3 to get f4. Alright, like this, right? So we will get the answer f3x is equal to f3fx is equal to x over x plus 1 over, make it longer, 3x over x plus 1 plus x plus 1 over x plus 1, right? Okay, now let's simplify like this. f4x is equal to x over x plus 1 over, how many x? 4x. 3x plus x, 4x plus 1 over x plus 1. So our f4x is equal to x over x plus 1 times with the x plus 1 over 4x plus 1. And we simplify, we have x over 4x plus 1. Alright, so the condition is, you have to state the condition, so the x cannot be equal to negative 1 over 4. So finally we have found all the three function, iterated function, right? And the question is asking for f20 and f23. So it looks like, are you going to repeat until f20 or f23? So normally we work smart lah, huh? We will try to study the pattern. Okay, let's study the pattern. The fx, we will given x over x plus 1, where x cannot be equal to negative 1. And then for the f2x, we actually found out already, right? Just now is x over 2x plus 1, whereby x cannot be equal to negative half. And then we also found out the f3x is actually almost the same pattern, but there is a little bit different. It's changes. So f4x, we found out that we actually find the answer. We have 4x plus 1, and then x cannot be equal to negative 1 over 4. In this case, if I ask you what is f5x, I'm sure you can answer me very fast, and I'm sure you are not going to redo, are you? You can see the pattern, right? Can you see the pattern? If this is x, it will be x, 1x here. If here is 2, it will be 2x, right? If here is 3, if here is 3, it will be 3. So if here is 1, you are getting 1, alright? So conclusion is we actually can derive for b. We don't worry, f20, x. So we are not going to find, we'll write x over 20x plus 1, isn't it? Miracle, miracle. So, right, isn't it miracle? Very fast, you can get an answer. You just study the pattern. So the pattern actually save your time. So 23x, so when you do, you always observe the changes of the pattern. So 23, we just write 23x plus 1. The plus 1 remain unchanged, and the condition apply, negative 1 over 23. So that is so-called iterated function. Okay, very interesting, isn't it? So we have solved number 1. Okay, let's see another iterated function, which is actually number 2, right? Number 2, we'll discuss number 2, also iterated function. So let's see, okay, we have discussed, the A. How about number B? F40, and then we are asking to find the, let's do number 2 first. We are asking to find the iterated function for question number 2. Alright, so before we substitute the value, we need to find the function first, right? Okay, so now I'm going to find the F2 and F3 and F4 for this iterated function before we can substitute the value and solve. Okay, right? So any problem? No problem, right? Okay, now let's see. It's a very simple function, so I'm sure you got no problem, right? So let's see how to do for this one. We have fx equal to 1 over x, right? So we want to find f2, so we just follow the pattern. So the f2, f3 and f4. Let's do it now. Okay, f2, it means inside the function the object is f, right? This is f2. So I will actually use the this function. Okay, if fx, it will be 1 over x. If I substitute the object, which is fx, so I'm going to substitute the object fx into there, I will get f2. Alright, so here I will substitute the function, which is, what is the function just now? Is 1 over x, right? Okay, because the fx was given. Okay, so we have f2x is equal to x. How to get x? Is 1 divided by 1 over x. So become 1 multiplied by x over 1, right? So it's x. Right? When it is x, we don't write the condition. So we have found one already. I'm going to find f3. Okay, in order to find f3, we use the f2, right? So if f3x, so basically we use f2 and we sub the fx into f2. Alright, so f2x is x. So if the object is fx, so here is actually a fx is 1 over x, right? So I just substitute 1 over x into the x. So I will get 1 over x for f3, right? So here there is a condition apply. You have to write the condition because the denominator is x. Okay, so now I'm going to find f4. How to find f4? For f4, basically you have to use a f3. Okay, f3, inside the f3 you sub the fx. Alright, so it's 1 over fx is 1 over x, right? 1 over x. So it looks like you are getting 1 divided by 1 over x, which is 1 times x over 1, which is x, right? Okay, it looks like you can see the pattern, right? Okay, let's list down the pattern. Just now we have actually fx, right? We have fx. We have x. Fx is 1 over x. Then we have f2x. We are getting x, right? For f3x, we are getting back 1 over x, right? So you can see the pattern keep on changing. When odd is actually 1 over x. When even is x, right? We found the f4x is x. So now the question is asking, okay, we have actually solved this, the iterated function for f2, f3, and f4. We found it already. Okay, we have found f2, we have found F3, and then we have found F4. This condition apply. And the values of F40 and F43 when the object is 2. Okay, in order to find the value of F40 with object 2, so we will study how to get the function F40. F40, if you study the pattern, if it is odd, you see here, if it is odd, let's see, if odd, it will be 1 over x. If even, you will get x. Odd, you will get 1 over x, right? Okay, odd 1 over x. Even, you will get just x. So 40 is actually odd or even? Of course even. So you will just get x, right? So if the question asks you F42, of course you write 2. I'm sure you don't want to repeat until 40 times. Are you going to do so? I don't think so, right? So if the question asks F43x, so you will refer to the one with the odd, which is 1 over x, right? So it means that if F43 with the object 2, you get 1 over 2. Understand? So actually basically it's just study the pattern change when you do a few of the function. Okay, so that's all about the iterated function. Okay, I hope you understand what is iterated function, and I'm sure you can do well in the coming exam, maybe mid-year exam. So keep on doing. I will discuss more questions if I'm free. So this will be your homework for next week. Till then, I shall see you in my next video sharing. Bye bye and have a nice day.